Today we're gonna be going over some of the best throws you should be implementing in wrestling, and I got a special guest with me, 3-time national champ from Johnson, Wales, Josiah Fry. First, we're gonna be going into throws from the overhook position. The first throw we're gonna go into is tie otoshi.
So what I do first to start off is I get my tie up and I come circle motion over here. And what I'm doing is I'm bullying this guy to the edge of the circle. There's two ways I can do this. I'm bullying him over, and he's gonna wanna either circle in this way right here, so he goes to circle in, and I catch him right there with my foot. The key of this right here is when he's circling that foot out, I wanna catch that circle of motion. So as he's going circle slow real quick, he steps right there. As he steps right there, I'm shooting my right foot across, step, my left leg steps back, and then my right leg shoots as he's doing that extra circle, and I catch his foot with my foot, and it makes for a beautiful throw. So I'm pushing him to the edge. I know he's about to circle, so I meet him with my feet. Beautiful throw, get my 2, takedown, nice and easy.
Now, what are you doing with your hands? Because I feel like the hands are what's pulling me over.
So this hand right here, when I make that 2-step, 1, 2, as I shoot this foot across right here, I'm pulling this and I'm shooting my right shoulder down, pulling it all together like that. So when I look, boom, as soon as I shoot this across, I'm pulling as hard as I can as I'm jamming this forearm into you and putting my shoulder down. So I shoot this across, pull this down like a whip, like I'm whipping it down, and then shoot my hand down. See how I have my hand up right here? That's because I had a good whip. So my hand's down right here, the guy might land on his knees or like land in a bad position. And I do this move without the whip. Now we're here and like we're kind of like in a 50-50 fight, and now I have to wrestle this guy, maybe hit an arm drag to get by. Rather than if I get that good whip with the arm, I'm here, I whip it. Now he's landing on his back. Now I'm able to cover for my 2 a lot easier.
Now, are you popping with your knees when you do it, or is it kind of like, are you extending your knee like that, or not really? It depends on the situation. Or?
Definitely extending my knee. Like when I'm here, my knee's down right here. This is a big pop, because when I pop, I'm popping the back of your shit up like this, and I'm collecting it. If I was just to put my legs straight, the throw's definitely gonna still work, but it's not gonna have like a pop, like a slam effect. Like watch, if I do it like this, like you're gonna get you fall down, but it's not gonna be as explosive or as nice looking. And like that's how you're always in judo, you know. I'm also like a black belt in judo. That's how you're taught. You're supposed to go here, pop it. As soon as you pop it, you collect.
Is there any other positions where you would hit this technique from? Would you do it from a bundle maybe, or just overhook? I mean, feel like the best position for you.
I always like to hit it from. I'd get here, my bundle, and guys would start backing their feet away. And it'd be so open because they're backing away. They're just asking for me. And from here, I would hit this 2-step. I'd just jump into it, put my hand down, and slam them. I would get my bundle, best position, guys backing away. He knows there's nothing to do for defense for a bundle besides just get away, because I have his arms, there's nothing he could do. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my hand down as I hit a split, shooting my right leg over to the outside of his foot, my left leg to the outside of that foot. Hand down, throw.
Now the next technique is gonna be a fireman's carry from the overhook. Before you start, what position do you like to be in when you have this overhook? Do you want head position when you're hitting the fireman's? Does it matter if they have head position? Where do you like to be before you go into that fireman's carry position?
I definitely like to have my head position. And if the guy starts with his head position here, I'll use my shoulder and I'll kind of cock it back and punch him in the face with my shoulder. Like, you know, kind of how like Conor McGregor did in his fight. He cocks his shoulder back, punches him in the face, and then gets his head right there. And then as soon as I get his head right there, I like to switch my feet right here, because I want my right foot to be in line with this guy's left foot. So then as I'm right here, watch this key detail to what I do. Before I even hit this throw, I hit a little foot sweep right here to kick his foot to let him know like I want him to back that foot up. And like obviously this guy's not gonna like that foot, so he takes that back step every time. As soon as he takes that back step every time, I'm knee sliding my knee into there, because this creates a huge opening, huge space. Now it's easy to slide my knee in, step my foot up, and hit a big throw to get him to go down, switch my hips, get on top, get my back points. One more time. I get my head in his face right here. I get my right foot lined up with him. And I'm doing it easy to ebb it right now. I'm doing a little kick, but initially it'd be a big kick and I'd follow it up with a 2-step. So I'd put my left foot where my right foot is, my right foot would go and kick it as hard as I can. And as soon as he stepped back, I would drive it and take that knee slide. When I hit that foot sweep right there and he steps back, I'm stepping deep in as far as I can with this. And I'm almost knee sliding right here. Knee sliding, and then I'll take another step. So now it's like I loaded up on my body. And as soon as I get them loaded up, I'm firing off with this left foot and coming for a big major throw.
And that reminds me of Helen Morales. She did the same exact thing. She has a Russian tie position and she's looking for this foot. And sometimes she'll even catch it as they step out. So as they're stepping out, she catches it, slides into her knee and throws the position. She even hit it from, she had a quarter Nelson. And as the person stood up, she switched to that fireman's carry and went right into it. So when you go to this fireman's carry, what I'm looking for defensively is kind of hooking your shoulder, like standing up and posturing. What would you do if, say you went in for your fireman's carry, what if you have somebody catching your elbow up here? Are you still able to throw the person over? Would you switch to a high crotch? Has it even really happened? Because it seems like it's hard to do that when you do the foot sweep.
So when I have this opening right here, this opening, I foot sweep back and I have this down, I'm normally clamping very hard with this as I take this up, down. But if someone was to like lift this up, I feel like I would use a fireman high crotch thing where I drive into them. Since my hand's already in there and they're trying to get me in bad position, I'm taking them where they want to go. Because I know I'm gonna off balance them with this foot I have right here. Because I have this to me. So they have this to their advantage, and I have this to their advantage. So I'm taking it, driving them down, sitting.
That's interesting. So when you hit that fireman's carry and you get stuck with your arm up, instead of trying to fight the position and go fireman's, you go into them, knock them back to their butt.
Taking their leg out, getting them off balance, driving them in a weird angle towards their foot where I know they're gonna lose balance.
Okay, and then what about if you go for your fireman's carry and they sprawl? So you end up, you shoot in and they end up kind of having you back here. How are you gonna wrestle from this position? Are you peeking out through?
Yeah.
Are you dumping?
Honestly, from if I'm in this exact position right here, I think a nice little peek out to an arm drag, get behind right here. Or so say I'm here and they're really sprawled out, like sprawl as hard as you can. A lot of times guys, like I'll start coming up here and then hip down. You get them to hip down this side. As soon as he hips down this side, that's exactly what I want. Because then I'm coming up here, right here, and running my feet over until I get him to his back, the position I want.
If you're already through, you're going for more of that peek out.
A lot of times, like I've actually gotten to this position a lot, and this is like two things that like happen from here. So I'll be here, and guys will be sprawled out as hard as they can, and if they're sprawled out on this hip right here, I'm screwed. Like there's really nothing I can do besides the peek out. So I'll start coming up here, and I'll bait them to put this hip down right here. So now once they put this hip down, I see it to the side, and I switch my feet as soon as I can. And I switch it quick. So that sometimes in position, what happens is he puts his hip down, I'll switch, and a guy will step over me right here to try to make me think I'm in bad position. All I have to do is bridge over my head and keep going until I put him to his back. Because that happened to me my junior year at Super 32. I hit this move, this kid stepped over me, put me to my back, and I bridged up and ended up putting to his back, and I won the match because of that. Just a little like tip I'd give. No matter if like say the kid steps over you, as long as you bridge and keep running your feet, because you have this arm right here, you have so much control over him, and you can flip him over, put him to his back, get your back points, get the win.
And you mentioned that a handful of times, that you control that arm super tight.
Super tight.
You went for the fireman's carry, and I said, hey, what happens if they hook your arm? You're like, they don't even really get there because you have it so tight.
Yeah.
And then here you're saying, even when they step over you and you're on your own back and you feel in danger, I have this arm tight, I'm still gonna be able to wrestle this position. And that's what I feel when people shoot a fireman's on me. I'm like, if I get my arm free, I can wrestle.
Yeah.
And I think too many people let go of the arm and like go crackdown.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you gotta wrestle through a crackdown position.
Which is way harder.
Yeah. If you go and look at the best people that hit the fireman's carry, Spencer Lee, Austin DeSanto, they're finishing on top here. With their head on top and their chest on top. They're not finishing crackdown most of the time. I think a lot of people go fireman's, let go of the arm, then go crackdown and try to wrestle that position instead of just like popping their head out and putting the guy on their back.
Yeah.
The next throw, which you can comment below whether you think it's a throw, but we're gonna go over the inside trip. This is best done from an overhook position, and the second most common position is probably a Russian tie. So my partner has an underhook on me. I personally don't like forcing the overhook because that's not a position I'm great at. So In my case, this position happens when somebody digs an underhook on me. For Josiah, if he likes to force the otoshi, for example, he might force that overhook, especially for your Russian tie, you'll force it to get to your Russian tie. So I'm trying to keep them away. They start jacking this underhook up. I'm gonna be standing at an angle here. I'm not facing my opponent. I'm staying at an angle to allow my foot to go through, and then I'll turn and face. So I'm here, my foot goes through, and I'm dropping my head to the same side as my knee hits the mat. So I don't want this left toe to hit the mat. I want to keep that toe in the air, slide all the way down to here. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make, hook and they keep their head on the same or the opposite side of their foot. This is very off balancing and allows your opponent to cross face you and put you to your back. So make sure as you guys go for this inside trip, your head is going to the same side as the overhook here. And then you want your right foot up if possible, because you want to drive off that back foot, and a lot of times I'm going to collect a double as I go to finish here. Another detail that I'm doing is my back foot is stepping in. Sometimes people will get into a split, so their back foot is too far away and they're reaching too much here, which is very off balancing. So I'll take my back foot, just step in, make sure I'm close enough to then throw my leg through, wrap, and push through and finish. And you'll see that concept throughout most of the throws we're showing, where you take your back foot, you step it in. If you rewatch any of the other throws we did, you'll see Josiah inching in, right? He doesn't want to get in a split. When he did that fireman's carry, he took his back foot, he stepped in a little closer so that he's not end up like this by the end of the throw. Same thing with the otoshi. He doesn't want to be in a position where he's like in a weird split here. He's taking his back foot, he's stepping in closer before he goes and commits for these throws.
Just distance control for everything. That's for a shot too. If I'm taking a shot, I'm getting my distance in right there. Even if I step, I'm stepping. I'm always bringing my back foot with me, you know what I'm saying? High crouch, bringing my back foot with me. I'm doing a throw, I bring my back foot with me.
Yeah.
Always bringing that back foot with you. Distance control, very, very important for anything in wrestling, not just throws.
Yeah, even with your wrestling stance, like Josiah's saying, in a normal stance, you aren't in this like split position. You aren't ready to explode. You're more a little more wide. So when you shoot, you have to
bring that back foot.
You have to bring the back foot in to go and fire off your shot. Is there any other positions that you would go for this inside trip? Did you do it from the Russian? Not really.
Not really, but like if I had this Russian right here, and sometimes I'd get annoyed about this guy posting on my head. He'd be posting on my head, pushing on my head, and I'd put this arm into his armpit and come up and double as hard as I can. And like, I've actually caught a couple guys with that, but a lot of guys like kind of caught on to that, like, because if you post on my head, I'm either gonna collect this and get the bundle. So a lot of guys caught on to doing this, but some guys would hit it and I wouldn't be able to reach the arm. So instead I'd shoot this. What I'm doing is I'm literally shooting this arm into his arm pocket so he can't bring his elbow back anymore. So it kind of makes him stuck a little bit. So when he gets stuck, that's when I shoot this all the way through. And I switch my right arm down to his leg. Do the same thing Evan does. Get that deep, turn my head to this side, and finish with a nice little double.
Now we're gonna move on to some throws from the underhook position. The first one is gonna be Uchimata. You wanna explain how to hit that?
So basically when I get my Uchimata, when I'm wrestling and trying to get my underhooks, I like to club an underhook right here. Get nice in position, get my head control right, digging my head right into his cheekbones right here. And then I like to grab this wrist right here. As soon as I have this wrist, this underhook, my head position, I'm good. And I like to make a triangle with his feet, my next step. So what I'm doing is I wanna be the head of the triangle. So I see my feet right here, got this triangle going. As soon as I got this triangle going, I'll start wrestling with them. He'll wrestle me, he'll wrestle me, he'll wrestle me. And I'm just kind of trying to build pressure up right here. And as soon as I build enough pressure up and I feel like he's going forward a lot, I'm gonna do that same thing we were talking about before. Getting this foot close. As soon as I get this foot close, I'm twisting my hips right here. As soon as I twist my hips, I'm stepping this foot back like a jump and I'm kicking this foot up. As soon as I kick this foot up, I'm getting his leg in the air. As soon as I get his leg in the air, I'm starting to hop backwards in a diagonal angle. Boom, boom, boom.
I think if you have enough pressure too, you'll probably flip him right over.
Yeah. If you have enough pressure, he's going right over. If you don't, then it turns into like a Ken Uchimata. But again, so I'm here, I club, underhook, get my wrist control, get my head pressure. I get that little triangle step, make a triangle with my foot, and as soon as I feel like I'm using this back leg to make all that pressure into him, I'm getting building pressure. As soon as I get enough pressure, it's a fast motion. I step here, I twist my hips, I jump back, and I swing that leg back. So if I'm doing it fast, Evan, I'm here, I'm building that pressure, and I'm throwing them down. And if you do everything perfect, build up that pressure, You get your hips under them. Because necessarily, it's a hip throw. A lot of people think Uchimata is a big arm throw, but it's not. What I'm doing, as I'm building that pressure up, I'll show real slow, is when I take that step back, look at it. I'm getting all his weight onto my hips. And as soon as I get his weight onto my hips, I pop up, and again, that pull motion, I'm pulling down as I shoot my shoulder down at the same time, so it makes him whip down. So like again, by myself, I'm here. As soon as I'm here, he's loaded up on my hips right now. And as soon as I get him loaded up on my hips, I pop up. That's getting all his weight above me right now. So now all his legs are both off the ground. And now as soon as I turn in and whip down, that's what's creating that big, huge slam right on the mat. So I'm here, pushing into him, pushing into him, pushing into him, and I get, nice, easy throw.
I see that from an overhook too. It's, especially in freestyle.
Yeah.
You'll see people in freestyle are looking to push people out of bounds. Probably more in folk style nowadays than the past because of the stall calls. And people feel safe pushing from an underhook. So a lot of times you'll see people hit this technique from when they're in the overhook position getting driven out of bounds. So, you know, if I had an underhook on Josiah and I'm trying to push him out of bounds here, he's in a position, or even if it's on his leg, right? And I'm driving in, Josiah's in a position where he can backstep and find his way to that throw. That's something to be careful of, even if you guys don't want to be the one throwing. This video is super important to figure out what are these guys who are throwing looking for. You know, they're looking for that pressure. And that pressure is huge with whether it's a shot or a throw. People don't really understand the setting up of a shot. Setting up a shot is building up pressure and then releasing it and going, or building up pressure and then going for a throw. If I don't have any pressure, feet are gonna be dug in the mat. It's gonna be hard to throw him. And if I don't have pressure on a shot, it's too easy for him to sprawl and back off of it. The last throw that Josiah's gonna go into is Ogoshi. And this throw, everyone should know, it's probably the simplest one. And it really helps you develop how to throw somebody forwards, which is most throws.
Basically when I do it, I go the same thing. Club, digging that underhook. As soon as I get that underhook, head position, arm. And with this one right here, all I'm doing is to set up the Ogoshi, I take this little left step and I go here. As soon as I go here, I pull his shoulder down here and I get that grip right there. That's setting up my grip. As soon as I grip that grip, a lot of times guys are gonna be backing their hips away. This is exactly what I want, and that's the reaction I get every time. And like, again, big for you guys, even if you don't like throws, you should never back your hips up, because like if he backs his hips up, all I'm gonna do is step, swing my hips into his hips, and now our hips are at the same level. I load them up and I throw. Anytime you do that, it's so easy for one of us throwers to throw you.
Because you're giving the person space, right? If Josiah goes in for an Ogoshi and I close the gap here, now we're in a battle.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I may not feel as comfortable, but as soon as I back my hips away, I give him the space to come in front and hit that throw. And in general, with a lot of these throws, it's a battle of who's in front. So if Josiah has this position and he steps in front of me, he's the one that's going to throw. If I find myself in front of him, now I'm in the advantage position, as long as we're leaning forwards and don't get taken back.
Yeah. So again, I'm here, take that outside step, and basically, I'm gonna show you it from the back. When I take this outside step and pull his shoulder, it's just getting my hips in and me being able to grab his waist tightly. So watch, I'm here. See that right there? I close the gap up and now I have him tight. Ebed, how does this feel for you?
It's super tight.
Super tight. Now Ebed right here, since I feel super tight and I'm already in front of you right now, Ebed, his natural reaction, he doesn't like this tightness, so he's gonna back his hips up. And as soon as he backs his hips up, that's when I step, swivel my hips in, and throw him. You wanna make the guy uncomfortable off that initial, I'm stepping in, making him uncomfortable, because every time, like, guys aren't good at thinking fast. So every time you get them like this, they're gonna go right there, and as soon as I take that hips back, you swivel in, throw them down, nice and easy.
So now you've learned a handful of the best throws for wrestling. But if you guys wanna become really good throwers, you have to know how to combine these things together. Because against a good wrestler, there's gonna be chain wrestling, right? If I'm wrestling Josiah and he goes for this Ogoshi, go ahead and, I may start coming in front and he's gotta be in a position to hit the next technique. And ideally, you already have that set up because this is one of your go-to moves. You've done it again and again and again, so you know how a worse wrestler would react, which maybe is here, it's easy throw, and you'll know how a better wrestler is gonna react, so you're already prepared for that second move where you maybe your fake Ogoshi and go to something else. So now I'm gonna give you a few examples of some combination throws, and then from there you guys can kind of create your own for your style. So the first one we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to the tai otoshi, we're gonna go fake tai otoshi to the sasai.
So what I like to do is, to set this one up, is a lot of times I'll throw the tai otoshi at him, I'll go like this, and I'll come back right here, just to let this guy know like, oh, like he's trying to hit a hip throw. And then I'll be moving this guy, I'll be wrestling, and then I'll be like this, and then he knows like I'm trying to move him this way. So I want him to block, I want him to bite so hard on this that when I go here, he's biting, leaning back right there. That's the initial reaction I want him to get. And once I feel that going down like that, I'll be moving with him, and I'm just moving my feet. Look how I move my feet like this, and I'm doing this reaction right here. I like to set it up like this a lot, because then guys think I'm gonna go here and here, and then when I'm really biting it, I'll go here, and then instead of stepping right here with it, I'll go here and take him back with the sasai. So one more time. Watch how I set up, watch how I set up. I'm here wrestling, more live speed. I'll go here, I'll be like, all right, I'm moving, here, all right, moving, here. Nice little sasai right there. Tricking him to thinking I'm gonna throw him one way and really bringing him the other way.
And before we recorded this video, Josiah showed a couple different ways he hit the sasai. Like every time he's done it, he's done different things with his opposite hand. You've clubbed my head, you've went underhook, you've had my wrist. So whatever you have with the overhook, you have this good control tie. The other hand, what is the other hand trying to do? Is it trying to bump him over this way, whether it's a club underhook or kind of wrist?
So basically, when I say I have an underhook, overhook, whatever, this hand, say I don't have his wrist and I just have it free, I'm smashing his face. So I'm going and smashing his face. And necessarily it's just pushing this guy to go in the direction he already wants to go. So it makes for a beautiful foot sweep. Because if I just go here and here, like yeah, I'll get the guy to trip down, and that's when it goes like, I get him to trip, but I didn't get him to trip all the way, so now I have to take a shot. The difference is, with this hand, if I go and trip him, he's going and flying right over. Because I'm adding more momentum, I'm adding more pressure to him moving the way he already is moving, and then when I put that foot sweep to it, it makes it for a big throw. But if I'm just here, and I go without using that hand, I might trip him, but he's gonna trip and just fall down, and then I have to finish with a double or finish with a single. I don't wanna have to do that. So when I use this hand, forces the momentum this way, he's already going that way. So when I put that foot sweep together, creates a beautiful throw.
Another option you guys can have, and it might be based on how they react, is going for a backwards throw. So if I have this overhook, same position, I'm faking, whether it's a tai otoshi, or any forward throw, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be a Uchimata or
Ogoshi, whatever.
Ogoshi type throw, right? I can come back as well. So if I'm flashing forwards like this or giving him a feel here, and he's giving me the reaction of a backwards with pushing his hips in and resisting the forward throw, instead of going for sasai, I can go for a backwards throw, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like. I have the overhook position, I'm flashing here, maybe even stepping in like Josiah was saying, and then I'm just gonna flash my hips, step in and hook back. And then you can bring him right back to his butt. I've even seen people go lat drop with a combination with a lat drop here, where they're faking here, or they're pushing here, and then they step back in and throw that way. I'm not gonna throw Josiah with a lat drop, but there's some creativity to this, right? This is not a specific formula to your wrestling. Josiah built his own system, the Russian tie. Yes, he knows a ton of techniques, like he's showing today, but he really got great at wrestling by narrowing down his system with his specific techniques. And you can see when he talks about exactly how he used to set it up, he really understands it, and he really knows like this is what happened when I wrestled in matches. One other example I want to go over is you were showing the Ogoshi and the Uchimata and working that to a Kochi.
Yeah. So basically, this is what happens when I get my Uchimata and I go back to that Ken, like I don't get the beautiful throw that I want right away. I hip it and the guy has really good balance. This is for the best wrestlers. I see him, he catches his balance, and instead a lot of times the guy will hit this and I'll be like, all right, I lost it, and bring it back down. That's no. I already have him up there, I already did all that work continuous motion, continuous wrestling, chain wrestling. Like everyone says, don't just hit something one time and stop. Hit something into something. So what I'm doing right here is, I got this guy up all the way. I'm gonna keep bouncing my foot. Necessarily, I wanna get into the back of his foot. So I'm backing, and I make him lose his balance. It's called Ken Uchimata, and I collect his back, I get his thing. Another way to do it, so this guy has great balance. I hit my Uchimata, I'm bouncing, and I collect this foot right there. A nice little ko-uchi into my throw. And you could do it with anything. I could be here, and I could go here, and ankle pick, knee pick, whatever. I can go here, collect it, knee pick, make it your own, really. Because that's what I do with all my throws. Like, I've obviously have the foundation of judo and wrestling where I know all these techniques, but then I just make them into whatever I do. And that's through like flow wrestling and practice and stuff like that. I'll be hitting these throws and I'm like, all right, can I hit this throw to a knee pick? Can I hit this throw to an ankle pick? Can I hit this throw to a ko-uchi, a foot sweep? And I'm just constantly figuring out how to put moves together and seeing what ones go together and what ones don't.
Yeah, so those are some examples of combination throws. Try them out, see which ones work for you. I highly recommend you guys adapting lower body and upper body attacks and foot sweeps. You can still be mainly foot sweeps, but a big problem I think with American wrestling is we focus mostly on the leg attacks.
Yeah.
And I think if you guys can combine attacking lower body and upper body, it really opens up your wrestling, because not only are they afraid of shots, but now you're faking shots, dropping to legs. I mean, you're literally taking out half the body.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't work on throws, you're gonna shoot on, you're gonna grab a single, or you have one leg or the other. I know what you're gonna do.
Single, high crotch, double.
Yeah, you're gonna get on my legs, but if you have that ability to kind of combine just a little bit, it's really gonna open up your wrestling, make you a much better wrestler. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you want more content from Josiah Fry, go follow him on Instagram. I'll put his tag in the description, and make sure you follow along his journey of becoming a UFC champ.
Let's go.